Welcome everyone to another episode of Magnificent. But I'm gonna do a little something different. I don't have somebody in the seat right across from me that I can interview. This is what I kind of thought of. It was actually when I was at work. But pretty much what I would like to do is something a little new. Kind of have a little fun, maybe even get the listeners involved into it. But for the most part, I've just realized, I got a lot of thoughts. I got a lot to say. And I mean, uh to, you guys, as well as like, talking about different topics and stuff like that. And then also another thing is I'd also like to have people, send me some stories if you got any, very entertaining and stuff like that. But, for the most part, it's just me by myself. And, I mean, I get with the whole summertime, and, it's been kind of tough to get people on different things. And I'm also a busy guy too. Like I got to go to Notre Dame for the first time last weekend. And I tell you what, it was a fantastic time. Like Notre Dame is probably one of the most beautiful campuses that I've ever been on. Granted, I didn't go to college. The only education past high school that I got was broadcasting school. And, you know, I found that it was a definite benefit for me, but it wasn't a college campus. I've been a fan of Notre Dame since I was about 5 years old. Of course, it started with the movie Rudy, and it impacted me automatically. Um, I think it was mainly like the gold helmets and just the whole story behind Rudy. And Notre Dame to me has always been, um, you know, part of my childhood growing up. Just liking the movie. And and I know I get a lot of crap from it, from my buddy Rob Percha from Perch Points, but mainly because he's a USC fan, which is a rival of Notre Dame. But either way, I got to go to Notre Dame with my dad, have some father son time. And the cool thing is that Notre Dame for the first time ever was playing Central Michigan, which is his alma mater. And all in all, it was such a great time. um, Now this weekend I get to go to the big house. That's right, I get to go to Michigan University to watch Michigan against Rutgers. Now that is something that's pretty cool. I've never done. First time, and I'm going with my buddy Alan. We're just so excited for it. We're going to tailgate. It's going to be so much fun. But I've done a lot this year, and I can definitely say this year, I mean, granted, the year isn't done yet. We're coming on October pretty fast. Um, and I can definitely say that I've accomplished a lot of bucket list things. And I'm so excited to not only go to the big house, but I'm also very excited to keep going with the bucket list. Like, if you have a bucket list, well, if you don't, definitely make one, because it's definitely something like a goal that you can reach. And it's not like, short-term goal, long-term goal. The bucket list is something that you can accomplish and do um anytime you want. There's not a set thing that you want, there's not a set schedule or a set kind of thing. If you have an opportunity to do it, do it. I got to go see Zach Brown Band, and I got to see Jason Aldean, and those guys are on my concert bucket list. I got a bunch of bucket lists, just to let you know. I have a concert one, I have just the main bucket list, and then I also have a hunting bucket list, and fishing as well. Mainly like what I want to fish, deep sea fishing, stuff like that. But again, if you ever can get a chance to make a bucket list, do it. I promise you, you will not regret it, because it's stuff that you are passionate about and stuff that you would want to go experience and do. It can be with a just one person, it can be with multiple people. But as long as you can, write it down or put it in your phone and have it, so that way you can mark it off when you accomplish it. And it feels so good when you can check it off and be like, all right, I've done that, and you have a story behind it that you can tell. So, very excited to go to Michigan and watch Michigan against Rutgers, which I hear is going to be a great matchup, even though Rutgers has been a little iffy and Michigan, of course, has been Michigan. Um, Other than that, like I've just been really busy, but I can definitely say I've been really proud of the episodes that I've given you guys. And I've got to experience and talk to with so many different interesting people. Just recently you got to listen to Stephen McDonald, who is a longtime friend of mine and former former what is it, student, or a former uh anyway, I can't think of it right now, but anyway, you've listened to a sportscaster, you've listened to DJ, radio DJs, professional wrestlers. I even had a band on here. And if you haven't yet listened to those, go back, listen to those episodes. I promise you won't be disappointed. They're very entertaining, and we have a lot of fun. And I'm very proud of the episodes. I mean, I can definitely tell you I got a couple of different episodes in store for you guys in the future. I'm trying to work on getting another artist, songwriter, who actually grew up around where I grew up, went to the same high school. She ended up moving to California, and she's so talented, so absolutely talented, and I just can't wait to talk to her, have her sit down, shoot the shit a little bit, and just enjoy having her be here on the show. I also have a lot planned for you come October. I'm gonna bring my old man on, or back on, and we're gonna be talking about serial killers. Now, I'm going to fair warning you, if you're listening to this now, if you're not so much into serial killers, I mean, we're not going to talk about the victims or the, certain deaths, but we're going to talk about, different psychological things. So if it's not the episode for you, you can skip it. I'm not going to hate on you. Plus, I don't think I would really know if you skipped it or not. But other than that, if you're into that kind of stuff and you want to feel a little bit of spooky, I definitely have a great idea to mix Halloween with, serial killers. So if you're interested in that, tune right in. I'd be more than happy to have you guys listen to that. And I promise you, there's a lot of thought behind it. And there's a lot of cool things that we're going to touch on about that. Plus, we're also going to bring on a couple other friends of mine, talk about paranormal stuff. We're going to talk about, witches and witchcraft and all the different spooky things that come during October. Of course, we're gonna do some cool stuff with that. But yeah, I mean, it's all in all, I think it's gonna be a great rest of the time to record and stuff like that. But I just wanted to come on here and really start this thing. And what this thing is called the Rambler Diaries. Mainly reasons is because, when you talk by yourself, you pretty much get to ramble on and stuff like that, like I've been doing for about 8 minutes or so right now. And I get to talk, and I can talk to you, and feel like I'm with you there, in your ear, just talking to you about, just random things or random topics and stuff like that, or what's going on with me, and and maybe even get some motivation or something like that coming your way. um but I mean, this kind of was a thought to where, also, if you look at the definition of rambler, it's mainly the form of somebody who walks down a road by themselves, and it's mainly in the country. Now, if you think about it, and you're, walking down the road in like the woods and stuff like that, you know, you are one with nature, and there's a lot that can go into your mind if you're just taking a little walk. You think about different things that is going in your life or what's going on in the world today. And I figured I'd touch on that as well, so hence why it's called the Rambler Diaries. um so yeah, I mean, and I mean, it's not going to be as long as like a full on like kind of show that I usually do, which is about an hour and a half or so long. This is just going to be 30 minutes of me just rambling on about what God knows what, and pretty much having you be entertained by it. So all in all, I would like to ask that if you guys do have any stories, send them my way. You can go on to the Facebook page, the Magnificent Facebook page. You can go on to the Instagram page, shoot me a post on the Facebook page, or even try and DM me if you are close with me personally. Or you can DM the Instagram, and both of them are at Magnificent Podcasts. So all in all, yeah. So like I said, like I've been kind of busy as of recent. I've gotten to go to Tennessee and got to experience some really cool stuff that I didn't get to experience the year before. And it was a really awesome treat that I got to do with my family, and and I got to do some, and we got some really cool stuff. My brother vlogged it, and he's up to day two on YouTube. And if you want to watch that, then just let me know and I can send you the link or anything like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's been really busy. I mean, I've been a really busy guy. I mean, I almost feel like, as a 25-year-old, that it doesn't feel like I have a day off. Uh, I work Monday through Friday, and then come the weekend, it's like, all right, got stuff planned, and and you pretty much go on and have stuff planned with friends and whatnot, and you have different things going on, and I mean, life gets busy. So, but yeah, I mean, I mean, it's crazy because next weekend I got a couple birthday parties. I got a 1-year-old birthday party, and then I got a 21st birthday party. So definitely gonna enjoy that. Um, and pretty much all of October Saturdays are really busy and stuff like that. But I'm gonna definitely do my best to get those episodes out for you come October, and work them around that. But yeah, so but with the Rambler Diaries, I figure I'd start with. I mean, I talked a little bit about college football a little bit, and majority of you, whether you guys are sports fans or not, uh, you guys know what's going on in Notre Dame to Ohio State's playing. And I tell you what, like my buddy's brother Phil, he sent me a video, a TikTok to be exact. But he sent me this video of the Pat McAfee show, and they were doing their show and stuff like that, and all you sudden you hear in the background, "Fuck Ohio," by these Irish fans. Now, the Irish fans, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're really, really nice, but I definitely get it. Like, nobody likes Ohio State. Do I know why? No, because I'm a Michigan fan and we just hate Ohio State. That's just the rivalry. It comes with the territory. So the fact that Notre Dame is saying that, that just makes me 10 times happier. Um and So, but I mean, they were all really nice. I mean, my dad was wearing Central Michigan sweatshirt, and people were shaking his hand and saying good luck and stuff like that. So, I mean, they were great. They were absolutely great. But the fact that Notre Dame is playing Ohio State, all I can say is go Irish, get them Buckeyes, and fight Irish fight. But other than that, uh, let's take another turn to kind of what's been going on in the entertainment world. Of course, you know that Britney Spears has been not in her kind of what is it, the I can't even think about it, but pretty much her law thing. She's free Britney, right? And with Britney Spears and her Instagram, if you look at her Instagram, I mean, I must say, girl gone crazy. All right, I think she got divorced, and like, I guess I've never gone through a divorce, but my parents have, and like seeing them kind of do their thing after a divorce. I mean, even after a breakup, you kind of you feel a little bit freer and stuff like that. So you go on and kind of do your thing. But I mean, if she's doing her thing, I mean, that's her thing. Okay, you do you, girl. But might want to see somebody about something. And I don't want no some whiplash and people being like, oh, you're talking bad about Britney and this and that. No, I'm just pointing out what I absolutely just see and kind of what my opinion is on it. If you respect it, cool. If you don't respect it, just know that it's just what I think, and that's just kind of how I'm just thinking about stuff. So, But besides Britney, I mean, there's a lot of interesting things going on right now. You got different things with different movies and stuff like that. Um, I noticed. So I have this app. It's called Letterbox, and my brother JT showed me it. And pretty much you can go on there and click on different movies and put them down as like either you can put them in like your favorites, your top five, or whatever. But you also can put like that you've watched them. I'm just going to tell you right now, folks. All right, I've watched about 905 films, starting from Charlie Chaplin's 1921 film, The Kid. Absolutely enjoyed it. Absolutely. I laughed. I teared up a little bit. Yes, your boy did tear up a little bit. But I can definitely say that I enjoyed the film, even though it was a silent film. And then as of most recent, I've watched different documentaries and stuff like that. I would say the most recent one, I can say that I've watched up until, let's see, it was like, I forget what documentary it was, but I can, from the top of my head, I think the most recent documentary was, it's on, I believe it was on Paramount Plus. It's the documentary of the 1968 comeback of Elvis and the story behind it. Now, if you've seen the movie Elvis, you know that it was like a very controversial thing between the Colonel and Elvis just wanted to go out and sing after his long film career. And the Colonel wanted just to make money off of the Elvis and just milk him dry, right? So, but then, of course, he wanted to do, the Colonel wanted to do like a Christmas thing because it was around Christmas time in 1968. But really, what was going on in the country was, things were happening in Vietnam, and, riots were breaking out, and Martin Luther King got shot, and then Bobby Kennedy, and just a lot of chaos was happening during that time. So Elvis wanted to make a statement. And I think, during that time, not a celebrity was speaking out their mind. Now you see it all over the place. You see it at the VMAs, you see it at different award shows, you different people speaking their mind and stuff, and that's all good and grand and stuff like that. But back then, it was never heard of. So Elvis, talked to a couple of songwriters, and they made a song that to close out the show. And and the Colonel was like, there's not a Christmas song on there. Well, during when they were doing the round performance, they sang Blue Christmas. So it was like, all right, up yours, Colonel. There you go. So, I think Elvis, would rebel a couple of times, and then he would have to submit because the Colonel had him on a tight leash. Um, but that film or that documentary is very, very good. And I've watched the Expendables. The Expendables 4 is coming out, and I'm gonna be honest, it's just a bunch of 1980s, 1990s action film stars mixed with like a couple other different actors. I mean, you got Randy Couture, who is a UFC heavyweight champion, as well as I believe he's a lightweight champion as well. um he's in the movie, and I mean, I'll be honest, the first three pretty good. Great. I mean, pretty good storyline for an action movie. A lot of blowing up, gun shooting, people fist fighting, kicking each other's asses and stuff like that. So if I ever get a chance to see number 4, I'm sure I'll enjoy it. As for Barbie, haven't seen it yet. Yeah, that's right. I have not seen the Barbie movie. And Barbie, from what I hear, is very uplifting, of course, for the women. And I think it's been just this year that my eyes have truly opened about the patriarchy. Now, as a man, I absolutely feel horrible that women have had to deal with this for so many years. I mean, you go back to like the 1600s. I was just telling my brother this as I was driving him to a house party. But, the patriarchy was insane back then because you get a woman that is, has a good head on their shoulders, will speak her mind whenever. And the men were so inferior of it that they would call them a witch, and people would believe them. The fact that they would go on and think that somebody is a witch and trying to cast spells or, do different things, and just all this hocus pocus stuff was happening. It just blows my mind. And so many women were hung, burned at the stake, whatever. And it just amazes me. So, and then you had in the 1920s, women had to fight and protest to vote. Come 19, I believe it was 25, 1925, women got to vote. That's amazing. That's more votes that people could. That's more votes to where people could decide who runs for office, who does this and that. And I mean, I'm not going to get into any politics here because I don't know shit. Okay, about politics. All I know is how I see things, and I'm just going to tell you right now. Not everything is all black and white, folks. Not everything is all black and white. There are different avenues in how to handle different situations, and that's just how it goes. It's not this person's right, this person. It's not this person's right, not this person's right, not this side, not that side. If we can all work together and then come to a common ground and agree to either disagree or just come to a common ground, we all want better for ourselves. We all want happy, healthy lives. And if we can all come together and just see that, things aren't all black and white, it should be it. We would be much happier and we would live in a better country. And like I've told people before, this country, we're not perfect, nor have I ever claimed that we have ever been perfect. But we always strive to become better, decade by decade by decade. Granted, do we take 2 steps forward and 1 step back? Absolutely. But don't we do that in our own lives? Don't we try and be better in our own lives, and also trying to, whether it's going to the gym, whether going to therapy, writing in a journal, trying to, go out and get out of our comfort zone and whatnot. But sometimes we always take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It just is life. But all in all, this country, I would say, is, it's not going up, it's not going down. We're just trying to become better. But enough about politics, the country, and whatnot. I could, go on over a little bit more, but we only got a certain amount of time, and I just figured, talking about a little bit of things. So, but yeah, I mean, it's insane to kind of see what's been going on in either people's lives, and I'm going to tell you right now, like, sometimes I honestly wish that, you know times were a little bit simpler, to where people could, um like, especially with dating. I'm a single guy, and you know it's like, you try your best to talk to a woman, and I mean, granted, I get it, like, sometimes you don't get it, sometimes you don't vibe with somebody, or you don't uh get along with somebody, or just things don't click. But for some reason, it's like, I feel like, either some people are very uh cool with being single, or they just are not open-minded enough, or they just are too shy. I don't know. I mean, like, it's like with me, you ask me something, go for it. I'll tell you, I'm an open book. It's like, I really got nothing to hide. And I'm going to shoot it to you straight and tell you the truth. Like, yep, this is what happened to me. And, or this is, I'll tell you a story or whatnot. And, and all you got to do is ask. Because I don't want to be the one to be like, all right, here's my life story. Now tell me yours, kind of thing. But all in all, it's kind of interesting to be in the dating scene at 25, and looking back, and you know my my grandpa was 21 and my grandmother was 18 when they got married. So my grandma got married at 18, 18, 19, and then had my dad the next year. you don't really see that much nowadays. You see people getting married at 30 in, or like in their mid 20s, mid to late 20s. But it's so fascinating to see how times have changed and how different things have worked themselves out nowadays. But it's so fascinating to me. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just so interesting. But all in all, I just wanted to, talk with you. And, like I said, this is the first, Rambler Diaries that I am doing. So it may be a little awkward right now, but hopefully you enjoyed it. And don't forget to go to the Facebook page, the Instagram page at Magnificent Podcast, and give it a follow. You can see my different guests and stuff like that. And I am going to do a intro and an outro for this specific segment of the show. But for some reason, the internet didn't want to work for me. I was trying to do this thing and download a copyright free kind of song for it, but for some reason it wasn't letting me download, and I was just like, screw it. I'm just going to use the normal outro and intro that I usually do on the show. So expect the new intro and outro for this segment to be coming out next time I do this. But yeah, like I said, check out the Instagram and the Facebook at Magnificent Podcast. I promise you, I'll try and put it. Oops, I just bumped the mic there. But you'll notice different things, different guests that I have on and stuff like that. And like I said, a lot of new things are coming your way, and that way you can check them out, listen to them, and enjoy it. But other than that, tell everybody about the show, and spread the word. That's all. These people say word of mouth is not as strong as it is. I beg to differ. Granted, we got social media and stuff like that right now, but like, if you like an episode, share it on your stories, share it on social media, and just use word of mouth, because word of mouth is still powerful to this day. But thanks so much for listening to this episode, and I will catch you on the flippity flip, and I will see you later.